Okay, it did say a billion.
So this is what happens when you don't pay attention during civics class, and this is the problem with the way the American educational system is going, because as they try to disassemble it, you will be missing core courses and information like this. How do we fix what we're seeing? The reason why we have 100 billion for anything is because lobbyists have ensured that the causes that they're fighting for get the funding that's needed. So why people need to understand that we have three branches of government. We've seen what the judicial can do. The judicial branch took away bodily autonomy for women. And we've seen what the legislative branch has been doing for a long time. We've seen how corrupt it is and how people's special interests get paid attention to because the lobbyists have ensured that that's okay. Did you notice how long it took to get funding and money to pay for the health care for 9/11? The people who were our heroes then? Do you see how long that took? It took a public shaming by Jon Stewart to bring light to this. Same thing with the president. It's all been infected by special interests. We might as well consider the lobbyists as those who are truly in power. And behind those lobbyists are the rich, who ultimately decide what's most important for our country. They even get to decide whether or not we go to war and whose babies get to go and die. And all of this is being done to put money in their pocket. That's why we have 100 billion. I mean, you should all be paying attention. It's why we're all screaming all over the internet, because the slaughter of the Palestinians is just another indication that imperialism, colonization, supremacy has not gone away. And the narcissism that enacts it all, along with the capitalism, is at the core of the ruination of our world. The people who died didn't deserve it on either side, neither the Israelis nor the Palestinians. But the fact that we in 4K have been watching an open air prison, we've been seeing people who are being slaughtered, children, and this is all okay. And those who are in power are okay with continuing to fund this because we haven't been mobilizing in the way that we will now have to mobilize to clean all this mess up. And that's what has to happen now. We have to fix it. We have wars on and battles at the state and local level, at the federal level, that we, each and every one of us, has to stand up and fight. You need to put down your differences. Doesn't matter how much melanin you have or don't have. It doesn't matter. Homelessness shouldn't be a problem in America. Not being able to afford a place to live shouldn't be a problem in America. As you can see, we have hundreds of billions to pay money for people's special interest causes. All while the money being spent is being spent to slaughter of people who should never have been the victims of the current supremacist colonization efforts in their area. This is less complicated than it seems. The only reason why this is complicated, it's complicated for the same way it's complicated when people are asking, hey, why can't we protect our children? It's complicated then when we know that weapons of war are being used to murder children in mass. That's when it's complicated, when somebody's gonna make less money and somebody has less access to a weapon they don't even need to protect themselves. That's when it's complicated. It's complicated when people of color are asking for reparations. They're asking for a rehabilitation and reconfiguring of the policing in America. It's complicated then. We need a police state. We want a police state. We want, our lobbyists are ensuring that gets funded. It's complicated then. None of this is that complicated. It's why it's going to take each and every one of us to stand up and to decomplicate this for each and every person, because the rich will continue to get richer and you will continue to live and die in your children's bodies, and your body will be put on the line to make them money because you don't matter to them. They will go wherever it is safest for them to go. They will take that money that haven't been paying you and have taken from you through greedflation, and they will sleep very well at nighttime because you don't matter. It's why we all keep screaming all over the internet why this is such an important cause to pay attention to. You are now in 4K in real time, able to get information from each and every expert. All of us who spent decades studying this mess. And now we can help you to educate you so that we can all get together and clean it up. And we have to start by dropping the division, because that's what's being used to stop us all from gathering together and fighting the true issue here. All these rich, special interest having people who at the heart behind, once you strip away the propaganda, once you strip away the lies, once you strip away the control that they're exerting over the brainwashing and the de-education of everyone around the world so that their imperialist agenda can reign supreme, you see that they are liars who are a lot more inept than you should believe or you should understand, because they have been playing by a playbook that has allowed them to become slow, greedy, and uninnovative, to the point to where they steal innovations from others through systems that they created in order to make themselves rich. So if you're okay with the way things are going and you're okay with more of the same, then fine, keep living. You thought that house that you were living in, that car that you're driving, that truck, that ancestral home that you inherited was going to be yours. They can come and take it. And then they can spread propaganda, as they're doing all around the world. They do it to take what you thought was guaranteed to be yours. The problem with Americans is that they haven't internalized yet the kind of trauma and misery that they've spread all around the world. And they've been insulated from the repercussions of what they're funding. You have the ability to change what's going on. The thing is that it is going to take all of us mobilizing and becoming people of character that care more about each other than money. It's that, or the same force, that same evil. It saw, and I'll talk about it from in this way. The Nazis saw what was done in America to the indigenous population and to the enslaved people. They literally went to a different continent, stole them from that continent, and then committed genocide on them to this day. But let's just stop in the 40s. The Nazis saw that and they said, hey, we have a problem that we want to solve where we are. How do we solve that? And so they enacted the same kind of slaughter that was going on in the United States. And they did that to the European Jews. And then once those people got out of the ethnic cleansing that they were going through, they then enacted that on the Palestinians to this day. Where do you think this is going next? Who's going to be in the next group? That should keep you up at night. That should motivate you to cry out, call your congressman, write letters, get online, make your videos, talk to your family members. Because if they can take those people land and the land before that, and the people before that, they can take their stuff, going all the way back. Do you think that at some point that's going to make a circle back to the United States? That kind of evil? Look at what's going on in Maui. You have got to wake up and to pay attention, because there is nothing that is guaranteed you just because you're in the United States of America. And you need to fight for every right that you want through state and local elections, federal elections, and cleaning up the money game in politics. The money's got to come out of politics. And that I think there are enough of us to begin to work on that in mass to bring about change.